So, the butt of every joke in Germany has been Saarland. I mean, it's been very commonly compared with the likes of Alabama, which is the cousin relation state capital of the world, actually, and it's very it's laughable. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, it's laughable. So this video, ironically, we're gonna be reacting to a individual who's made a video on Saarland, the forgotten history of Saarland. So we can have more than just a quick laugh. We can actually learn something from this. So it'll be pretty interesting. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. If you guys are returning viewers, welcome back to videos every single day. Oder jeden Tag. All I ask is that you guys abonniert or subscribe to this YouTube channel and like the video, please. Thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot. And let's go ahead and dive nose deep into this thing and see exactly what we're working with, because I'm very curious to see what he's going to be teaching us today that I don't already know about. I don't know very much about Saarland at all, besides it's basically like the Alabama of Germany. And if I'm right, let me know in the comments down below. If I'm wrong, well, I'm usually wrong, so let's go.
It is August 2020. I'm actually filming this the day after my video about the Völklingen Ironworks.
Oh my god, look at this.
That means I'm back in Germany. And I'm back in
you guys have buttons on your train doors? That is weird.
The region of Saarland, a few stops further down the line.
Metla.
Now, on the 3rd of October this year, Germany will be celebrating 30 years of reunification between East and West.
Oh wow. The German reunification thing was definitely like, what is a month ago?
And why were they split in the first place? Well, I'm sure a lot of you know, it all goes back to the end of the Second World War, when the Allies occupied the West and the Soviets occupied the...
I like how he does his videos, because it's like him filming everywhere he goes in Germany, but then he's also overlaying an edit on top of that too. So it's pretty nice. It's very engaging. Love this.
The East, and Germany ended up being split into two independent parts. Except that's not quite true, because there was...
Bro, these buildings are fucking beautiful.
Also, a third part that kind of gets forgotten, but it had its own flag, it had its own coins, and it entered its own team into an Olympics and a World Cup. So what happened to it? This is the forgotten story of independent Saarland.
Independent Saarland, not just any kind of Saarland. This is independent Saarland. This is the Saarland that broke away from Deutschland. The time traveler. To this legend right here. The forgotten story of Saarland. Very well put together. Oh my god.
This is the bridge over the River Saar in Mettlach. And today we're going...
They have a Saar River. Wow, I did not even know that. Well, you live and you learn. This is Hotel Haus Schloss? Is it Hotel Haus Schloss? I can't see what these words are. What the hell does that even say? It says something. Did I say something? Oh man.
For a scenic walk along the river, and then we're going to climb up to a viewpoint, and I've been told it's the most beautiful view in Saarland.
Okay.
But wait, Tim, what? Since when do we just go on a nice walk?
True that.
Surely there's going to be something else to talk about on the way, like a weird railway, or the world's longest something, or at the very least, a massive territorial...
Oh, the territorial dispute over control of the Saarland. That sounds intense.
Dispute. Luckily, the story of Saarland is a complete mess.
It sounds like a complete mess. Did he use the "it's time to learn geography now"? He used the geography now soundbite. That's funny. I caught that.
The area around the River Saar was originally settled by Celtic people, and then it's taken over by the Romans, and then the Franks, and then the Carolingians, before eventually it becomes part of the medieval Kingdom of Germany within the Holy Roman Empire. And that's how things stay for several hundred years, except for a short period at the end of the 1600s when France occupies it, and then another period at the end of the 1700s when the French come back for more. And I mean literally more. This time they took a whole chunk of land north of here as well.
Oh, France wasn't playing games, huh? They came back, they're like, give me my land back. Okay.
Anyway, they controlled it right up to 1815, which, if you've been paying attention, is Napoleon's defeat at Waterloo, at which point it's given to Prussia.
Prussia doesn't exist anymore. Wonder why.
And then in 1871, Prussia unites with various other Germanic states to create the German Empire. Right, so that's the simple bit.
Okay.
And more about that in a moment, but I'm now turning off the nice flat path along the river and heading sharply upwards on this little trail which will take us up to the viewpoint. And that means it's time for a Saarland scenery montage.
Oh, let's go. I'm all about the montage life. Let's see what Saarland has to offer. Is it worth visiting? Oh, probably not. That's the... Oh, no, man. I feel like there's better places in Germany besides this. This looks like... it's all right. I mean, it's nature, right? But there's places that look like this and have awesome castles, and it got like, you know, some dope little buildings and stuff around the castles. Like, ooh, not to say this is, it just looks standard, you know? Looks standard. This isn't the view yet. I'm dumb. I'm sorry, guys. Wow. Whoa. Okay. Nope, still not the view. It's getting better. Okay, it's getting better. So where's the view then? That is a much better view though. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. You can start seeing the tops of the mountains through the trees, man. This is a different type beat. This feels like a RPG or some kind of MMO. Definitely not the view. I'm loving this. Woo! Okay, you might have did something with this one. You might have touched a nerve in my body, okay? Because that looks good. Okay, that looks nice. Jesus, Saarschleife. This looks beautiful. This looks beautiful. This looks beautiful. Oh my God. Oh my God. What makes it beautiful is the river, like splitting through all that land and stuff. And like, oh my goodness, dude. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
This is the Saarschleife, or the Saar Loop, and it is pretty spectacular.
It literally is. It literally is. It looks like he has a green screen behind him, but it's real. That's real. That's
Some
crazy.
people have even called it Germany's answer to the Horseshoe Bend, although one of my London mates called it Germany's answer to the Isle of Dogs, which is what I call sarcasm. But either way...
Sarcasm. I am done. Oh my God. He has adapted the German humor. Let's go. Adopted the German humor. That's cool.
It's definitely worth a photo or two. Now, sure, that was a nice hike and a nice view and everything, but I know what you're thinking. Wouldn't it be so much better if there was a Baumwipfelpfad?
A Baumwipfelpfad? What is that?
Well, look at that.
Baumwipfelpfad.
Turns out they've got one of the biggest Baumwipfelpfads in Germany.
Baumwipfelpfad.
But there's a queue for it. So
what the freak is that, dude? A Baumwipfelpfad? What is that?
While we're waiting, let's go back to the story of Saarland.
Okay.
So 1871 was really the first...
I love how he tells stories in the middle of his vlogs. Like, this is beautiful.
First time that all the Germans got together. It was the original unification of Germany. And the newly formed country enjoys more than 50 years of relative peace and stability. But then someone shoots an Austrian and World War I happens.
Oh, shit. Well, wasn't it somebody from Serbia that assassinated an Austrian leader or something like that? And are these KKK people, bro? Why do they got white bags over their heads?
And if you live in the Saar region, your nationality is about to change. 5 times in the next 40 years.
Jesus Christ.
So you begin World War I as a German, but at the end of the war, the Allies take one look at the Saar Valley and its rather profitable coalfields and steel industry and say, right, we'll just take that off your hands for the next 15 years.
Oh, shit.
And they create the catchily named Territory of the Saar Basin.
So
you're now under the joint sovereignty of France and the UK.
Interesting.
But at the end of the 15 years, you're given a 3-way referendum between keeping this arrangement, unifying with France, or reunifying with Germany.
Well, obviously you reunify with Germany, so that's easy.
And
that
over
was
90% of you vote to return home to Germany.
Let's go.
Only problem is, it's 1935.
Oh, shit. Saarland was just dealt a bad hand. Can we just say that? Saarland was dealt a badass hand, bro. Damn. Y'all came in, y'all reunified when the Mr. Mustache took over, huh?
So you begin World War II as a German, but at the end of the war, the French, who clearly have a bit of a thing for you, somehow managed to sneak you away from the rest of Allied-occupied Germany and create the separate Tsar Protectorate, which means you become pretty much your own independent country, but with military protection from France.
Which also did not do shit during the war. They kind of just, okay, we don't want war with anybody. We're peaceful. They're like, all right.
I mean, at this point, France is basically acting like a sleazy guy in a nightclub.
Literally.
You've turned him down several times, and he's still cornering you, saying, why do you want to be with Germany? You could be with me. I will look after you.
Like, I can take care of you. Yeah, the other guy, he's nothing. I am everything.
And all you want to say is, what on earth is a Baumwipfelpfad?
Exactly. What is a Baumwipfelpfad? I'm trying to figure that shit out myself. What is that?
Well, it's one of these. It basically translates into English as treetop walk.
Oh, that is so cool. That's why everybody was in line. I would want to take one of those. It feels like one of those bridges in like Star Wars. What was it? Return of the Jedi? Was it Return of the Jedi? Where they were fighting the Ewoks in the forest and shit, and you have to run across the bridge and stuff like that. Yeah, it feels like that. That's cool.
Walkway. And you've probably seen a treetop walkway before, but this one is on steroids.
Yes, literally. It's like elevated to the max in the sky. I don't even want to think of the possibility of the wooden structure breaking.
It's over 1 kilometer long, and at the end, it becomes a spectacular observation tower.
Wow.
A bunch of these have been springing up across Central Europe over the last 10 years.
It's simple but effective. I mean, you're walking through I guess nature and stuff like that, and kind of just make a note of things while being elevated like 100 meters off the ground. That's pretty impressive.
They're all built by one German company, and this is not a sponsored video, so I'm not going to wang on about it, but they're kind of cool. Right, where were we with the story? Yes, France was chatting up Saarland in a nightclub. What is this video? Increasingly desperate to win the affections of the Tsar people, France banned all pro-German political parties, introduced the French franc as currency.
Oh, God. I wonder if the franc has always been more than the German Euro, or I guess Deutschmark. I wonder if at the time was the franc more than the Deutschmark. And at this point, I know Germany is using Euro instead of the Deutschmark and stuff. So, is France also a part of the EU? France is a part of the EU too, right? So they use Euro out there as well. Euro. I don't know. Y'all let me know, because if they're still using the franc as currency, then is their franc more than the euro, or is it less than? Because I don't know. I have a feeling it might be more than.
And designed Saarland this beautiful new flag.
Oh, that's cool. It does look pretty nice. I mean, I guess that's the one decent thing that came from Saarland. That flag looks decent.
Those three colours remind you of anything? For Saarland, it was time to drop some increasingly unsubtle hints. They issued local versions of the French franc, but with the francs written in German. They entered their own team at the 1952 Olympics, but marched into the stadium with the West German athletes right behind them, putting the Tsar athletes between the two flags.
Interesting.
And then there's the story of the Tsar national football side.
What the hell?
They entered the qualifiers for the 1954 World Cup, and as luck would have it, they were drawn in a 3-team group with Norway and West Germany.
What? Okay.
In their first competitive game as a nation, they beat the Norwegians 3-2 in Oslo.
Okay.
But after a 3-0 defeat in Stuttgart and a 0-0 draw at home against Norway, it came down to a winner-takes-all crunch against West Germany in front of a full house in Saarbrücken. By all accounts, the Tsar team played brilliantly, but were on the wrong end of a couple of questionable refereeing decisions, and it finished 3-1 to the Germans.
Damn.
And Saarland were out of the tournament.
Damn.
Afterwards,
so Saarland had like a slice of spotlight, and I guess that got kind of ruined a little bit.
It showed just how upset he was by saying, "Yeah, I wasn't unhappy with either result. Personally, I feel German. I didn't want to stop them from getting to the World Cup. We would have had no chance anyway."
Oh my God.
And the rest is history. The West German team went on to win the final against the great Hungarian side of the time. Cheering them on from the stands that day was several of the Saarland players.
Hey, I mean, they're all German, so it makes sense. I mean, right? Like, it's like, hey, as long as Germany wins, cool. So, when you're in a sport as competitive as that, man, you just got to rep your country. It's like if BVB and, the other teams in Germany like banded together. They're like, hey, we're getting ready for this World Cup. As long as Germany wins, we're Gucci gang. Like, it could be any of the local soccer teams or, you know, more national soccer teams that wind up, you know, hopping in. But as long as they win, that's fine.
In the end, that was the last time a Tsar team entered the World Cup.
Wow, that's sad.
Or indeed the Olympics. In 1955, France offered the people a referendum on continued independence.
Okay, what was
67% of voters rejected the French plan.
Oh!
And they finally took the hint. A year later, in what has since become known as the Kleine Wiedervereinigung, or
Kleine Wiedervereinigung,
the Little Reunification, Saarland officially returned to Germany.
Finally. Oh, Saarland.
And these days, Saarland is pretty German, but there is still a little bit of Frenchness in their identity. Some people here still use the very French greeting, salut. The local radio station is even called Radio Salut, although, of course, they don't spell it the French way, they spell it the metal way.
Salut, salut.
But more importantly, perhaps, for my French viewers at least, Saarland has more Michelin stars per person than any other German state. In other words, 65 years since you ran this place, they still have the best cooking in Germany. And if that doesn't make you proud to be French, I don't know what will.
Huh, interesting.
If you'd like to see the beautiful Saar Loop, the nearest station is Mettlach, and then it's an hour's walk along the river, plus a half-hour climb to the viewpoint. If that sounds too much, there's a bus that does the trip, or you could just drive there if you've got a car, I suppose. Entrance to the Baumwipfelpfad is €11 for adults and free for under sixes. And there's loads for kids to do. It's very family friendly. And with a maximum slope of 6%, it's designed to be wheelchair and pushchair friendly too. Anyway, thank you all for watching.
That was very informative. Loved it. Absolutely loved how it was put together. And I learned a lot, man. Saarland is actually very underrated from what I see here. I mean, it is kind of predictable from what I've seen, but there are a lot of new things I learned about it that I had not known, especially its history. Holy shit. There's a lot that went behind its history. You guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. I want to hear, I want to read it, I want to see all of it. That's pretty much it. I love you guys, and I will see you so. Bis später, Leute. Ich liebe euch. Ciao.
Well, 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 what a pleasure it is to see all of your beautiful faces at the end of this lovely video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm sure you know, as I've mentioned in the past, we do have a Discord that's linked in the description down below, and we would love to have you a part of the world's greatest community ever, Bray Gang. Yes, if you've made it to this point in the video, you're officially a part of the community. So go ahead, join the Discord server. Link is in the description down below. And we also have other social media as well, like Instagram, Twitter. We're live. We go live on Twitch quite often as well. So it would behoove you to, you know, go ahead and subscribe to the Twitch channel at twitch.tv/JamesBrayGang. Join the cause and be a part of the greatest, literally the greatest community ever. Okay, it's simple. Just go ahead and do those little things. We're trying to grow on all these little platforms and everything, and it really means a lot. Now, I know you guys stumbled up across the channel and you're like, what does this guy post? Like, what kind of content does he post? Reactions, vlogs, pretty much whatever comes to my mind. All right, it's random content. I don't know what I'm gonna be posting 10 years from now, but I do know that you can stick along for the journey, and it really means a lot. Now, for every single person that subscribes and follows all of the accounts that I have made, and all the links will be in the description down below, that's an automatic entry for any future giveaways I decide to have. I'll remind you when the giveaways take place, but you'll be surprised what I will be giving away because you guys have supported me so much up to this point, and it's only right that I do the same thing back. Thank you guys so much for being amazing, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Peace.